Whenever the topic of Robin is brought up in relation to Matt Reeves' Batverse, I always hear countless people whining about the character not fitting in with the tone established in that universe, but I can't disagree with this sentiment more. If a future movie in the franchise adapts the Court of Owls storyline, which we all suspect will happen, this would perfectly set the stage to introduce Dick Grayson's iteration of Robin. In the initial issues of Nightwing's New 52 run, the Court are intrinsically tied to Haley Circus and Dick's origin. Typically, in Dick's comics' accurate background, mafioso Tony Zucco kills his parents on behalf of the Falcone or Maroni crime families. But for the purposes of this pitch, to better blend with Matt Reeves' continuity, Zucco would instead be an enforcer for the Court of Owls. It would be explained that after the Falcones and Maroni's downfall, courtesy of Batman, Penguin, and Sofia Gigante, he came into the employ of the Court. As in the comics, the Court of Owls would be squeezing C.C. Haley, the ringmaster and owner of Haley Circus, for acrobats who they would fake the deaths of and turn into their Talon assassins. Tony would oversee the purchase of these acrobats, but when the Court would express interest in a young Dick, already utilizing his great-grandfather William Cobb as one of their most effective Talons, C.C. Haley would start to have reservations. Haley, for all his questionable actions, would be shown to love Dick even more than his own son and would view the notion of handing the boy off to the Court as out of the question. Haley would instead persuade them to accept fellow young acrobat Raymond McSeary instead, claiming him to contain more natural talent. Zucco, seeing through Haley's manipulation, would blackmail the ringleader for hush money. But when Haley would become unable to meet his demands, the villain would attempt to kill the Flying Graysons, consisting of Dick and his parents, during one of their performances. Fortunately, Dick's parents, John and Mary, would be able to work together to ensure his survival before falling to their deaths. Following this, Dick would eventually be sent to Brookside Children's Home, the same care home Giavidi was sent to after Sophia murdered their entire family during the events of the Penguin series. Batman's investigations into the crimes perpetrated, unbeknownst to him, by the Court of Owls would lead him to question C.C. Haley and ultimately Tony Zucco before an obscured William Cobb Talon prematurely kills the latter. Through these interrogations, he would begin to realize Zucco's former employer's interest in Dick will result in them coming for the boy at the children's home. He would rush there to protect Dick, only to come face to face with a disguised William Cobb once again. Their confrontation would ultimately be interrupted by the children or staff of the facility, though this interaction would serve to tip off Batman to the Court of Owls' existence, as he, like the rest of Gotham, previously would have thought them to be an urban myth. While continuing his investigation into the Court alongside Gordon and Alfred, while in the guise of Batman, he would publicly befriend and take on Dick as his ward in his Bruce Wayne persona. Therefore, instead of the typical adoption angle, this pitch would have Bruce take in Dick in more of a witness protection angle. While a part of Bruce would definitely have Dick's best interests in mind, another part of him would see the decision to be strategic in his quest to take on the Court of Owls. While we would watch Batman's investigation into the Court persisting in the foreground, we would watch Dick in the background piecing together the sinister group's interest in him. He would also realize their hand in the deaths of his parents after his own search for answers would lead him to question C.C. Haley. Ultimately, Bruce would come to accept that there's nothing he can do to keep Dick away from placing himself in dangerous situations in the quest to bring the Court of Owls, whose actions resulted in his parents' death, to justice. He would see some of his past self in Dick: anger, loneliness, the need for vengeance, the feeling of futility. Against Alfred's better judgment, Bruce would decide to train Dick as an apprentice of sorts, reasoning that if his young ward is going to be targeted by such a dangerous organization, he should be properly trained to defend himself. Secretly, though, Bruce would also feel that Dick had a right to his revenge. The two would pull together, pooling their knowledge and abilities to confront the Court at the climax of the movie. Dick, now in a proper Robin-type role, would take on a brainwashed Raymond McSeary Talon, while Batman would take on Owlman, the William Cobb Talon, and a boatload of others associated with the Court of Owls. Utilizing Bruce's intensive martial arts moves taught to him, in combination with his own acrobatics, Dick would eventually come out of his battle on top. As Dick would confront the defeated hierarchy of the court, Bruce would curiously watch to see how bloodthirsty Dick's vengeance would be, though his new sidekick would have no intention of becoming a murderer himself, leaving them for Gordon and the GCPD. As the movie would conclude, Bruce would have come to see Dick as a capable companion in his quest to clean up Gotham, and secretly enjoys the influence the boy would be starting to have on himself. Dick would be a moral center and a shining example of not allowing tragedy to define and consume. So there you have it. Matt Reeves' Batverse is a masterpiece, and, though grounded, has the potential to do justice to a lot of characters and concepts that upon first glance would seem too fantastical for the universe. This pitch could even have wider implications as well. During the Penguin series, the titular character's surname was revealed to have been changed from Cobblepot, as it is in most, if not all, other media, to Cobb. This could allow for a familial connection between Dick and Penguin for them to play with going forward, possibly in a potential Penguin Season 2. Speaking of William Cobb, to keep the pitch more in line with the grounded tone of the Batverse so far, I would have the Talon assassin be changed to Dick's maternal uncle instead of his great-grandfather. But the inclusion of Mr. Freeze cryogenically freezing the Court of Owl's assassins between missions, as in the comics, might be a way of preserving the two's comics' accurate relationship, though I'm getting a little dangerously close to treading on the territory of a future video on my pitch for Mr. Freeze's own inclusion into Matt Reeves' Batverse. One last potential element I would like to touch on that this pitch would set up would be a possible Robin or Nightwing spin-off series in the same vein as the Penguin one we already received. It could feature Raymond McSeary freed from the court's conditioning, killing members of Haley Circus he deems responsible for his misfortunes under the guise of the villain Psycho, again, as per Nightwing's New 52 opening arc, leading to a confrontation with Dick. But that is yet again for another video. With all that being said, what do you think? Like and subscribe if you like this pitch, and let me know your own ideas for implementing Robin within the Batverse down in the comments. Also, stay tuned for my next pitch video redoing the Batman Forever movie. Now, if you click on the upper video that just popped up on the left-hand side of the screen, you can check out my pitch for the blueprints to my own original theoretical idea for a DC shared universe, and click on the lower left-hand video to check out my redo pitch for the Joker 2. Ciao for now, amigos.